there?
Supposedly.
We still have that one over by us. I thought once those people moved, that they didn't have it going, but they still got it going.
Stones or
Yeah.
they're back.
Oh, they're back?
Maybe when they did it.
Really?
Cause the kids were working, and I said, they're back.
You ready?
Yes.
Call meeting order, Stuart Municipal Utilities Council Chambers, tentative agenda, Thursday, October 2nd, 2025, 5:30 PM. Call to order, roll call, Sherman. Herrick.
Here.
Crawford.
Here.
Belden. AB here. Agenda approval, consent agenda, minutes of regular meeting of 9/11/2025, financial statement as of 9/30/2025, and bills as presented. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second it.
Okay. How do you vote? Sherman?
Yes.
Herrick?
Yes.
Crawford?
Yes.
Belden?
Yes.
AB, yes. Number 5, utility attorney. Brian, that's yours.
We've kinda had some grayness on going to, is it Allers Cooney, whoever that guy was, Tim Whipple, or, Dalen or Steve Brick, and I guess, just for clarity, I'd like to recommend and move that we, refer things to Rick Gentry and Steve Brick. He can handle things on the utility side as well. I think he's proven his, value is needed. I know we don't do a lot of things with him, but I think that, there's been things that have been handled in the past that haven't been done to me in an appropriate way or an efficient way. I think he's a more proactive, thorough individual.
Any questions? Anyone got a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Got a second?
I'll second.
Okay, how do you vote? Sherman?
Yes.
Herrick?
Yes.
Crawford?
Yes.
Belden?
Yes.
AB, yes. Number 6, performance reviews. That's yours, Dan.
I don't have a lot, I just have copies included that Sarah provided, but they're kind of a generic, performance appraisal type of thing. We could, whatever we went with, we could customize it to fit the individual job, I would say. And I know one thing that over the years when I've been in charge, well, as an employee and as a people manager, I know one thing that would be helpful, and it's something we should have on file anyway, would be like a job description for the two jobs, as if we were gonna hire somebody. Because it describes things more at a high level than, we're not gonna look at daily tasks, but we're gonna evaluate them on a higher level than that.
I know his is in the city codes.
Yeah, so,
I don't know about yours.
yeah, and maybe that's something we need to make. Like I said, I would say, write it up as if we had an opening. And if you could maybe give us a copy of yours that we could look at, I mean, and then if there's something that we wanna add on to individual ones, we could. And I know one of these, and I think Sarah mentioned it, one of these, I think, says I used a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is at a satisfactory.
Is that from another town you mentioned before? North or northeast?
I'm not sure.
Oh, well, that's something you have off the shelf.
That's what we've
This,
been
yeah,
using.
you should have one in there too. But anyway, I like the 1 to 5s, because when you use the 1 to 3 for unsatisfactory, or doesn't meet or meets, I think the 1 to 5 gives you a little more leeway, because a 1's pretty harsh.
Yeah.
And so if there's something that you think needs improvement, I like to have that option.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
like-
all format we use, and you choose which format you want
Right.
to use. They all did use the same concept of evaluation.
Yep.
Job description, it's in the city code, we'll make you a copy and give it to
Yeah,
you.
and then,
And I will get one, there is one we have for,
okay.
There's
for
probably one
that.
for my job.
I
when
figured there was,
hired,
but I
yeah.
mean, I always felt that when I wrote them, or even as an employee,
Yeah,
that helped to get a personalized plan.
yeah,
Cause sometimes it's good to add goals, like, especially if you think somebody is, exceeding requirements, and you wanna give them a bigger raise, you need to be able to kinda show your work, why. do we, you know, you can't just say, well, they're doing a really good job. We need some metrics as a group, I think, to look at and discuss.
Yeah.
Just, and then, that's all I really had for this, just.
Okay, I got a
just to start.
question.
Yeah.
So are we doing it all of us, or are we gonna have like 2 or 3 people in a group that go and do it?
I would have all of us fill out a sheet, all 5 of us. And when I was involved in things where we had multiple people evaluating, we would average the scores for each category.
Okay.
And I also think that, as we do that, it would be good if we could have a closed meeting as a discussion. I don't know if we could do that with just the 5 council people, or we can kind of come to an agreement whether we are all satisfied with how the evaluation is that we're gonna give, whether it's before we would evaluate the person or after.
Isn't that required, doesn't the employee have to pick yes or no, whether it's
Well-
closed session?
Well, he's meaning just the 5 of us before we go talk to them.
This is not, yes, this is where we can maybe come to a consensus on where we're at.
But I don't think we can go into, I'm just saying, I don't think we can go into closed session for that, right?
I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
you
I'm
do
asking
that
the
in a
question.
public.
Yeah, I know, I'm
You
with
don't
you.
do that in a public.
Right,
But-
because that's not a public.
That's personnelish.
My question is, can we do a closed session if we wanted to do that with just us 5?
You can, you know, the idea is, I think we give you a copy of how the city said it.
Yeah,
You
that would
know,
help too.
You know, the city said the process of evaluation, you know.
Well, we can
Can I-
have our own process of
Yeah,
something
and
we like
that's
better.
kind of why we give you a copy of the minute. If you wanna do it like the city does it, it's in the minute, it's documented, and we all know what the process is. The employees themselves knows what the process is, you know? You wanna create a different process, up to you.
Well, I would like to know their processes.
It's right here. We give
I
you the
just got the
minute,
evaluation straight.
and we make copies. This is the process that the city goes.
Oh, okay, is that in here? 'Cause I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know.
I don't
Oh,
know.
No,
didn't have
get
it
it,
for-
yeah.
good.
That's the process. You can take it with you,
Yep.
and then you can come back with the
Okay.
same thing or different. But that's how the city came up with their evaluation
Right.
process. So that's kind of for you to take home and think about it.
Yep. Okay.
Okay?
I know the school board does something similar to what you're saying with like a 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 rating system for the superintendent.
Right.
And then they have a process for doing
Yeah.
And I've
an
seen,
evaluation collectively.
I've seen it ways where you got multiple people grading, where you might throw out the top and the bottom scores also. There's ways where you just average it. I think usually averaging usually gives you a pretty good answer.
Yeah, like I said, you can read this and see if you like it. You can always try to
Well,
come
I-
up with something
Right,
different.
I think with multiple with us as evaluating whoever the employee is, I think it also, it was, in my job, where I was at a high level, when they actually determined raises, because some people got more than others, the higher up managers had that meeting where they all, if somebody felt somebody deserved a larger increase that they exceeded, they had their information that person who presented it could present it to everybody and make their case. And same thing for somebody who they didn't feel was meeting expectations.
Yeah.
Do we require them to have this self-evaluation as well? You know, evaluate themselves first?
Yeah, that's
We
common.
could do that.
Yeah, good idea.
That's
I mean,
not-
that helps out a lot,
Yep.
you know,
Have
and
them
maybe,
fill out the same thing.
and maybe, you know, do like maybe a midterm evaluation and then at the end of the year evaluation.
Yep.
Because then you can actually track the progress,
And I think
you know,
once
and maybe even setting goals too.
Once we get, that's
Yeah.
why I was gonna mention that it's good to have
Yeah.
goals too, because that's where, especially you take a younger employee,
Right,
when you just give out the same raise every year, you know, if that younger employee is at the bottom of the pay scale, and it's hard for him to catch up when everybody gets a 4% raise. A lot of times, you kinda have if you have a starting salary and a cap at the top, you would expect somebody like Ash, who's done it for 30-some years, to be at the top.
right.
And somebody who is starting out, you would hope to get them to the top if they're performing as fast as possible. So that was the other thing on ours, if you were at the top of the scale, if you exceeded, your raise might not be the same as a person at the bottom. And it's also important every year as you give out raises to raise those bars as you go.
Mhm.
You You don't leave it at
Should there
50,000
be-
forever.
Yeah, so this is the performance side, and on the raise side, should there be classifications, like a grid, like you're talking
Correct.
about, by position?
There's some things I think should be monetized, like, certifications,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
they've got different grades of water license.
Sure.
And we're seeing with the sewer that we probably weren't monetizing those enough to incentivize employees to
when
work
Jim would go
hard.
when he get another license, we'd give him a raise, but it probably wasn't enough for the
Probably.
market.
And if we get another employee with a 1, okay, if we got our guy, top guy's got a 3, we should be encouraging somebody to get a 2. And if it's a bit heavy lift for them to do that, we need to reward them for that.
Absolutely, yes.
So,
And another thing, I think, once they hit a certain amount, I think there should be a cap.
I don't know if I would call it a cap, but like I said, at the top of the scale, raises generally get smaller.
That's where I think we should do everyone separate.
And I don't know that I would call it a cap, but I think that
It's a range.
it range
Yeah.
and at the, when you get up to, I think at ours, used to be, once you got up to 80% of their top of their range wise, your raises your raises weren't the same percentage
See, we did
as they were at the
steps.
bottom.
Once you hit step 15, you're done getting raises, you're just getting like the cost of living,
Well,
and
you're
that's
still
it.
getting raises, but you're not getting as much as a merit increase. But you're getting more of a cost of living. But
Is this something that that Marquita would have as a reference? We could ask her to say, hey, unless this
Yes.
costs $1 million to ask, right? Is there a community that already has this type of plan in place, so we're not trying to start from the
No,
beginning, just
yes.
have her come out and do a presentation, say, I work with these 92 communities, and Marquita's is that her name? Is that right?
Yes.
Well, and she might be able to help us with
She's a
where we should,
consultant and a city manager.
where we
Okay.
should be.
We-
If
yeah,
we're
that's
way
what I mean.
underpaying
Right.
for a position, she
Right.
might be, have that information to tell us that.
Right. So I don't-
We have a human resources lady working with us, Lou Baker. I think she'll be able to give us this. She's
Okay.
been Baker.
Whatever the option, whatever the option is, I
Who
just didn't
is
know.
she?
Lady, she's on the utility side, she's the one
Oh,
work with us on the.
Is that
Renee?
with the union?
Yeah, but she's hired to be
No.
our human resource. She's gonna retire,
Okay.
so I'm gonna try to ask for her help before she
Yeah.
retires. She can give us module and all these things.
Well, yeah, and if she
Yeah.
works with another community or
Yeah,
another,
yeah, definitely.
that's
I
a-
would, I would
something
rather
already
go
set
with
up.
the lady you
Marquita,
said
yeah.
that cause she's doing that
She
all the
does that.
time,
Yeah.
where Renee's not doing it all the time.
I'm just
Renee's-
throwing out, rather than trying to develop something, go through all the process, and we had somebody stand up here and say, this town does this one does that, then that'd give us a head start. But
Right. No, I would be all for that.
maybe they don't have, maybe there's, maybe that doesn't exist.
No, it's always, you get it in a bigger.
Well, she would definitely have information where we can see how are we paying too much,
Sure,
are we paying
she'd have
too
a
little?
market reference,
She'd have a
absolutely,
market,
yeah.
that would be perfect
Yeah.
for some of those.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Okay.
That's fine. We'll get some information.
And, this year, I think it's important that we get started, it's not important that we have it perfect the first year.
No, I don't think it will take a
Just gotta
few
be
years
fair.
to get it perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
gotta be
get some
fair.
And
information.
we do that next month, right?
To,
Did we say
We
we're
don't
doing it
have
in
to.
November?
When would we vote on raises? We should have it done
The
before.
city said it on March and April, because that's when we discussed it.
budget?
Yeah, so we go and do all the evaluation, all the stuff in March and April. And then we go talk about
I
it.
mean,
I
we should-
thought we had said something about November.
November
We
is-
did.
Well, it wouldn't have
That's
to
what
be,
we
you
did.
mainly need to have it done before you're,
Yeah,
well, you
November,
don't really
December.
have to, because as far as raises go, you could say it's 4%, and that doesn't mean everybody gets 4%. We can vote on that, and then, but
There
we
is-
should have it done before we vote on raises, I would say.
Exactly,
Right.
and
So do you wanna try to
Right.
I
have
like that
Marquita
because
come out next month?
raise, 6 months will be too early, because raise and all the stuff,
I mean,
we
just
have
to
to know what
explain,
the budget is.
But I'm just
in
saying
order
to have
for
her
us even
explain-
to talk about
Well,
raise.
When you're doing your evaluations, you're just rating the employee. You're not determining what the raise is.
Yes,
We're just gonna evaluate they hit one of these 5 targets or 3 targets.
yeah.
That's all we have to do when we evaluate. And then raise times come.
Yeah.
Sometimes companies determine what the raise pool is,
Right.
and then they adjust for the evaluations people have.
So it's a performance evaluation.
Right, so
is
the
what
main
we're doing.
thing, we just need to do the evaluation, and whether we know how much this bucket is
Yes.
before, after.
We'll get all the information and talk about it next week,
Sorry.
and we'll get it done, that's easy stuff to do, yeah, yeah, and it's a good idea.
Okay,
All right.
see ya.
The last item.
Okay, city administrator reports.
Okay, I'll go through quickly and that should take care of it. The first page of the financial statement, it shows how much we have in the bank. We have 7.5 million. That's what we got in the bank. The next page, page 2, shows the beginning of the fiscal year is July 1st until the end of September. We are at the plus number of 177,000. That's a plus number, which is good number. The next page is the budget, where we add with our budget. Our budget is 3.4 million. We spent 822. We have 2.6 million left. The budget's doing good. Page 4, it shows the months of September between the beginning of the month and the ending of the month. The difference is 113,000. That's a plus number. We go to the next page is a breakdown of our budget, sales tax, water, electric, insufficient fund, customer deposit. That's for your information. Next page is the report of delinquent account. We added 9 people with the check mark on the right hand. Next report is a delinquent account paid in full, no change. Take us to the page 2. The next report is budget billing. We added 1 person with the check mark on the right hand. Next report is deceased and bankrupt, no change. Next report is collected offset program, no change. Last report is the department report for your information. If you have questions, please ask us. That takes care of that.
Public forum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one thing, Pat, the two poles moved off of Page's property now.
Yeah.
Now, do you need on his property again, to finish any electrical or not? Cause I know he's got.
Just a little
fencing
bit.
up.
Just a little.
Okay, so he needs to wait to put up his fence.
Oh, yeah,
He's
that,
got
that would
poles and
be,
chain-
that would be a
and
good
He
thing.
won't put up fence.
You know, if we could get a full weekend, it would all be done.
Okay, can somebody reach out and?
I planned on it. I have been reaching out with him. So we're doing what we can. Okay, adjourn.